Hey, this is Notser, and we're taking a look at a legendary module today. This is the start of a series of videos where I try and share a great game with a legendary equipped, show you my build, show you everything I'm trying to do. Hopefully, it'll give you enough information to go off of whether you should pursue it or, just keep it on the back burner. Now, the Kurfurst legendary is the following. Minus 15% to main battery loading time. This is good. Minus 15% to secondary battery loading time. This is also good, because that lowers the time it takes to reload both secondary and main battery. Minus 7% to main turret's traverse speed, which is, on the surface, looks bad. But when you compare it to the rate of fire module, which it's replacing, it's actually a buff. Instead of losing 13% or 12% of the traverse speed, you only lose 7%, so that's good. Now here's the real negative aspect that everyone 100% agrees on. Minus 8% main battery maximum firing range. So that's why it's so pathetic on the screen. And it's a legitimate concern. It 100% is. Losing range on your guns is a big downside. Probably not worth it downside, but I wanted to play the legendaries out. I wanted to show you a game where it's effective or usable and enjoy it. And I hope that that is enjoyable for you. So, we sailed over to A point and recognized rather quickly that this is the primary flank of the enemy. Notice the lightning's almost dead. And since it's the primary flank, I don't want anything of it. Secondary battleships, you don't need to throw away your ship. Secondaries are not designed to bait you into being 11 kilometers from every single enemy ship. Merely, you should use the secondaries to enhance whatever engagement happens to be going on, and nothing is going to enhance the engagement so I can win against 6 battleships or, 5 or 6 enemy ships on the same flank, plus or minus a couple DDs. Yeah, it's not going to work out very well. So instead, I disengage, I keep the island between, and I engage enemy ships as they appear to be sailing over to A and B point. Enemy clearly AB, my team BC. I love the GK, I love the Kurfurst. Once again, this is the ship that I play the most. So all my tactics, they've been developed over a long period of time. And one of those tactics that I love to lean on is the fact that the secondaries, with my manual secondary build, I can do a little bit of chip damage to DDs. It keeps them away. There's always a threat to the DD that they might take a little bit of damage. Now, a little bit of damage is nothing. But if you couple it with, 12 420 millimeter guns. Yes, I use 420. I love to blaze it every day. If you combine that, I have found that the alpha damage, the small window of damage, is actually very high, very intimidating. So they want to keep their distance for more than just secondaries. They also want to do main battery. So I find that it's very effective. Just keeping distance, main battery. If they want to extended engagement with my secondaries, I will help them gladly. But as I'm sailing away, I'm reminded that there are great big battleships on the enemy team. And great big battleships on the enemy team love to fire on other great big battleships. And looks like Yamato decided to pull the trigger on me, and I'm just hoping for, low damage. Oh, good. He only did 17,000 with that salvo. What a low damaging roll. And I'm silently thinking to myself, oh dear God, this build is terrible. You ever start out a game and you go, yeah, no. Nope. This is not gonna work out. This is definitely not gonna work out. Way too many enemies. I'm just running. And it appears that the enemy Montana is running into my teammates. Bow on, don't know why. I do have his broadside, and he's just inside my main battery range, so I feel pretty fortunate that I can get some free chip damage on a target that won't return fire, especially in this situation. We've lost all the friendly ships on this flank. There are only 2 friendly lightnings. I'm so happy they're here. They're really the only reason that I haven't been fully overrun. They can slow down and torpedo, just keep the enemy in a state of pressure. They can't be openly aggressive. And I appreciate that. your little DD friends always need to be there to help out. You need to help them out too to keep them alive. That's what I'm hoping to do. But enemy Bismarck widens out to fire all his guns. You know what? Okay. You fired your guns. I fire mine. 13,000 and he's gone. See you later, Bismarck. Ooh, look at Jack Bauer. This enemy Des Moines looks to be trying to camp on the corner. Now, I don't have gun range, but if I use my scout aircraft, I will. So, right as I use my scout aircraft, of course, he drops off detection. I'm going to blind fire the last known position, but I don't want him camping that corner. Enemy DD shows up, probably means the friendly lightning's going to be gone. Looks like the enemy Des Moines decides to move forward. I mean, what else can he do? It's a very dangerous position. And because it's very dangerous, I'm going to exploit this by firing all my guns on him. So it looks like he might be turning to a bow on. I elevate the guns slightly in response. And we get a outstanding dispersion on our main battery. We take that guy out, and I'm sure he had no idea what hit him. Oh, come on, Notser, dude. Sorry. This is not a, it's not a decided game. It's very dangerous, and thankfully, friendly aircraft spots the deep water torpedoes. In response, I immediately use hydroacoustic. This is the only way I die, is if I allow the torpedoes to punish my positioning. I'm not going to let that happen. That's one thing that I love about the Germans. They have hydro baked in, pretty much everything. And hydro is so useful for so many different things. But we got enemy Republic, kind of broad, kind of moving back to help his teammates. I, in response, was like, okay, I'll fire a broadside, but I really care about enemy DDs, Asashio especially. This guy, so evil, just absolute evil with deep water torpedoes, and we got to put this evil down. Which we do, continuously switching my secondaries. I use manual secondary. Why manual secondary? It works better against DDs. I don't need IFHE for DDs. I need accurate guns for DDs, and that's all I care about for my secondaries. Just get damage hits. I was hoping for maybe a Mogami Citadel, take him out of the fight. I could have traversed my guns towards the enemy, but I felt like very little threat could come to me or a teammate for that matter. Whereas the Mogami staying in the center, maybe he spots the friendly Worcester to his death, or maybe he sends torpedoes that take out a friendly here or there. I'm okay. I don't feel threatened to the point where I have to make this done. But, Mogami shows his side. We're going to obviously assist him with this side. And we've gotten up to 4 kills already. Enemy Lion looks to be moving towards this area, and because we have an advantage now, I am going to be going on the attack. And secondaries are so beautiful for the attack. They allow you to be, hyper-aggressive. It causes the enemy to maneuver more sporadically in hopes that they'll avoid every point of damage incoming. And when that is the case, oh, nice. When that's the case, I could usually land a shot or two. It just works out. It's a really fun aspect of this ship. The fact that my secondaries really dictate a lot of, not the damage output, but it dictates that the player has to consider more than just main battery. They have to actively maneuver all the time. Maybe that maneuverability allows for a more predictive pattern that my main battery can follow up with. I love it when a player does a full sweep out in a DD especially, and then they sweep back. They have to cover that distance. They're going to commit for that turn. In that turn, my shells will, disperse into the enemy and take them out. And that's basically what happens 90% of the time when engaging ships. And before we could continue it, the game actually ended. And it was a rout, multiple routes. A point was just lost for us. Lost every friendly ship. I was unfortunately the only battleship left, But with the help of the friendly lightnings, it wasn't that bad. We were able to deal with the issues and ended up with Kraken Unleashed. Would have just wiped out the entire enemy team. I love this ship. I hope you do as well. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.